This is WhyBeAre with Diesel Brothers, the video game. Now, do I know who the Diesel Brothers are? No. Thankfully, though, you do not need to know who they are to enjoy this game. I have played it for about an hour and I realized, yeah, it really doesn't matter if I know who they are or not. I'm sure there are references I'm missing out, but for the most part, I can still enjoy the game. Although, there is one part that's really difficult. When you create a new game, you have to choose a character.
Heavy D. Redbeard.
The Muscle. Diesel Dave.
See, I know who none of them are. So what I ended up doing is I just picked whoever had the best name. Now, Heavy D, I just really hope the D stands for Diesel. Redbeard, you got a nickname that makes sense. But who doesn't want to be the Muscle? Everybody want to be the Muscle. I know that. And then Diesel Dave, his name's kind of cheesy. Like, that'd be if I was Rotary Ryan, because I like rotary engines. He likes diesels, but nah. We're going with the Muscle. We got to make him look ridiculous. So give him a nice bright yellow shirt, although I don't think I'll ever see what color his clothes are. I don't care. Going to give him a nice bright colored everything. There we go. That looks great. Actually, no, that looks good. Perfect. So we are the Muscle. Now, here we go through the tutorial. And there is a lot of text to read. I'm only going to read some of it, and the other parts you can read if you play the game. So a few important things before you start. First, PC is very useful. There are all marketing options, possibility of transferring the car in big parts, access to the parts shop, new trucks, and tutorials. Second, if you ever get lost while rebuilding your truck, you can activate our guides by pressing H. Third, there are contextual tutorials. Whenever you use something for the first time, it's useful to watch them. That's all. Good luck! So here are one of the tutorials that tell you how things work whenever you touch something for the first time. And they're subtitled videos, which work pretty well to teach you what to do because you get to see it happening and then you got text telling you what's going on. The only thing is, it's kind of weird to have these videos in my video because you're watching a video of me watching a video. It just sounds wacky. So I've seen quite a few of the tutorials, so I don't need to watch them, but eventually I might get to some new tutorials that I haven't seen before and I'll watch those off camera and then I'll describe what they said as I do it. I should also mention there are controls to the video, so if you miss something, you can rewind or you can fast forward, restart the video, pause, resume, whatever you want, you can do it. So the last video was just telling us how to move around, but I know what to do. We need to use the computer. And we need to go to the order screen, and well, this is how you use the orders, but I know how to do that. So on this order, it's an easy one. We have unlimited time, and we get $10,000 if we do it. What we have to do is we have to paint the hood, the front right door, and the front left door. Welcome to the Diesel. It's crucial to understand the basics of working in the garage before you proceed to more advanced stuff. Here, you'll learn how to get the cheap parts on Scrapyard, how to unknot the part, and how to use the sandblasting and painting to get the best results. Tutorial orders are extra rewarded, so we recommend following them, but if you really don't want to do it, you can reject the tutorial order. Regular orders will be spawned right after that. In Tutorial Quest, delivery time is set to none, but don't get used to it so much. And of course, we want to do the tutorials. Okay, we have now accepted the order. And if you don't know what to do, you can always hit tab and it tells you in great detail what to do. So it's pretty hard to get lost in this game. Like right here, it says to-do list, get screwdriver, use highlight tool to locate. So if you ever lose your screwdriver, you can hit the highlight tool and then you look for the matrix looking thing over there. And that is where you left your screwdriver. You left it right on the workbench. What a responsible individual you are. So go ahead and pick up the screwdriver, and to repaint the doors and hood, we need to first remove them, although it looks like somebody already got removing the hood. When you're removing parts, you can see there are some bolts highlighted and the bolts change all the time. So if you hover over a part and then hit L, it'll only show the bolts holding on that part, which make it really easy to remove just the bolts that are necessary. So on this door, we need to remove just these two. So that shouldn't take too long at all. So we just kind of go over here, crouch down to make it a little bit easier. Take off the first one and then take off the second one. And now we should be able to remove the door. To do that, though, we need both hands, so we gotta drop the screwdriver, and it's weird to call it a screwdriver, but that's what the game calls it, so I'm gonna call it the screwdriver. So drop the door. Oh, it stands upright. How funny. I did not expect the door to actually stand upright like that. I thought it was gonna fall over and damage itself. Okay, that works too. So let's go ahead and do the same for this door, because this one also needs to be repainted. Although really, this color on the doors, I like that color better than the truck itself. We should just repaint everything else instead. All right, let's see if we can do the same with this door. I don't know how I dropped the other one. Nope, that one I did not drop it well. Actually, though, we shouldn't even be dropping them here in the first place. We should be dropping them in the transport trailer. And the way this works is whatever parts you put here will go with you when you go to another location. So if we want to go to the painting booth, for example, we put those in there, then we go to the painting booth, and the parts will be there ready to be painted. And of course, if you were hitting tab all the time to see the tutorial, it would be telling you all the steps along the way. And whoops, I am the muscle. I am so strong. I just fling doors. Okay, I really fling doors. Muscle, you're too strong. Try that again. There we go. You did it, Muscle. Like I was saying, though, you pull up the menu and you see just how detailed the descriptions are for things. And when I was first learning the game, I pulled this up all the time. Say, I remove the door. Now what do? You pull it up, it says, put the door in the trailer. Okay. Now what do? Get the other door. Okay. Put it in the trailer. Okay. Now what? Open the map and go to the scrapyard. Okay. To do that, all we have to do is pull up the map and then click on the scrapyard. And once here, we need to go find a hood that matches the truck we have, which is very, very easy considering we've got the red matrix lights telling me exactly where to look, although you can't really see it when you look directly at the sun. Although, really now, should you be looking directly at the sun? The answer to that is no, you should not. So anyways, this is the hood we want. If we hit E, it tells us about the hood. So it says, it's a premium hood by RMR Design, and it fits the Arton Sterling truck, which is the one we're fixing up. And it improves the acceleration and top speed somehow. I guess it's really aerodynamic, so we'll add that to a cart. It disappears and it is now in the cart. So what we do is we go over to the checkout area and we can buy the hood. We can also upgrade the junkyard as well in this same menu, so we can get the junkyard to be bigger and be cheaper parts or better parts. It just depends what upgrades you pick. Right now, we're not going to do that. We're just going to go ahead and buy the hood I want. So buy, and then we got to go pick it up and put it in the transport trailer. So just over here, all the things I just bought, which is just the hood. Grab it and then stick it in the trailer without using too much of my muscle. Carefully. All right. Now that it's in the trailer, if we hit tab, it should say open map and go to sandblasting so we can get all that rust off of it. So let's do just that. And we got another tutorial for this, but not necessary. We got the hood over here. We pick up the hood and we stick it on the sandblasting holder. And we go over here and we got to release the valve and fill the tank for the sandblaster. So we'll go ahead and do that. And now the sandblaster is ready to use. And pretty easy to tell when this is working because the color changes completely. And you just got to remove all the rust, or at least close to all the rust, and then you can continue on. And I don't think there's any sort of notification when you removed enough, so you just keep removing it until you feel like it's good, and then you can hit tab and see what the game tells you. So like, that's most of it removed, but you can still clearly see some down there. If you hit tab, it still says sandblast the hood, so we'll keep going. A little bit more. How about now? Is that enough? Nope, keep going at it. You just want to see, like, how much rust can we leave? Still says to go at it, so we'll just get every single bit of rust there is, and then it'll have to be good. I don't think there's any rust left on this thing. It looks clean as can be. Sandblast hood? What? Maybe there's a little bit down here, just on the tips. Make sure we get those tips nice and clean. All right, there is no way there's any rust on this thing. If there is, I'm quitting the game right now. Good. Put hood on trailer. So we are done with that. So we can now put the hood back onto the transport trailer. And then we can take the transport trailer over to the paint shop to paint up the parts. I don't need no stinking tutorial telling me how to paint a vehicle. I've painted one in real life. It turned out terrible, but I did paint it. So we'll grab the hood, and we stick it on the stand. Then we need to grab the paint sprayer and fill it up with some paint. So this machine right here, it'll make any color you can imagine. So we click on it, and we gotta choose. Do we want solid, matte, metallic, pearlescent, chameleon, or flake? And then we gotta choose a color. And at first, I tried to match the color with the truck, which turned out to be very, very, very difficult. Then I realized there's a little color right here. That orange piece tells you this is the paint to use. And apparently the dude doesn't care if you use flake, chameleon, pearlescent, metallic, matte, or solid. So we're going to use solid because it is the cheapest paint available. So we fill this thing up with the paint, and now we can go ahead and paint. And one neat thing about the painter is you can actually modify the way it sprays. So right now it's just at the base setup. So when you spray this thing, it just makes a little circular shape like that. But if you want to, you can change it to be really, really tall. So you go like that. And now when we spray the hood, it makes a shape like that. You can also increase the size overall to make it ginormous. And if you're a man who has no time to paint, this is what you do. You make it huge and then you just go whoosh like this. This is how you paint. I like painting like this just because it's like, it's so lazy, but it actually kind of works out going big whooshes. You know, you notice the paint is very, very inconsistent at first, but a couple of layers and eventually it'll look decent. And this one, it actually tells you when you've done good enough because there's a little thing up here, and once that bar is completely full, you're done. So why would you not just always use full power all the time? Because you definitely use more paint. But it's so fun, and it's only $200 for the paint. I think it's worth it. That is done being painted, and now we're gonna paint this one, and we're not gonna do anything to it. Like, if you hit tab, it just says, take it from the trailer, and then it'll say, put it on the thing. It actually takes a second for it to update, I've noticed. So now, it'll say, oh, that's the right door. That's why it's not saying the right thing. Okay, hold on. Get rid of that door. Take the door it's telling me to do. Put it on the thing. And you'll see. It just says paint it. We don't have to sandblast it. So that's just kind of nice, I guess. And for this one, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Boom. The paint is here. Get all this edge up here too. Get it all. Make it nice and pretty. Down here, nice and pretty. See, this time I'm actually kind of painting it a little better. Like I'm doing it in sections. That's done. That's done. We're good. Yeah, that looks good to me. All right. Throw it into the transport trailer. And then the final door. Stick it on here. And do we have enough paint for you? Probably not. Well, almost definitely not. We'll try to, like, do it really badly like this. Like, come on. Use all the paint. Come on, we can do this. Come on, just a little paint left. We can make it. We can make it. That's good enough, right? No way. We gotta go fill that paint back up. So we just go over here and click it again, and it fills all the way up. Bit of a waste of money because we're just gonna use a tiny, tiny bit, but who cares? We're having a good old time painting this thing, aren't we? So make sure we get it all nice and pretty. And look at this. That's why I was really curious about the sandblasting and how much you actually have to take off, because that thing is completely painted according to the thing, but there is a very, very, very obvious blue spot, which I'm just gonna leave. I'm gonna leave it like that. Oh no! Is it in? I don't know if that's actually in. Let's place it again. Nope. Worse. There we go. That looks like it's in the trailer now. And we can check too, and it says open and go to garage, so you know it's in the trailer. So we head back over to the garage, and then we got to get the parts back onto the truck. We'll start off with the hood because I've yet to install or uninstall a hood. I've yet to install anything actually, but I've yet to do anything with the hood. Grab the screwdriver, as the game likes to call it. Make sure we see all of the things to screw in for the hood, and then let's get going on them. Although apparently it doesn't want to go in. Go. There we go. I just had to find the right angle on it. And once you get that right angle, it's easy. And you can tell if something's tightened or loose just based on the color. Red means there's no bolt there. And then when it's green, it means the bolt is tightened and ready to go. So now we're done. The hood has been installed. We can go ahead and close it. And then get the next part, which is going to be one of the doors. I don't know which door this is. That is the door for the... I am getting all mixed up. My left and right's right here. That is terrible. The right side of the vehicle. So place that there, and that looks bad. That looks really, really bad, having that little spot. Oh, it's the mirror, too. The mirror's on this painted, too. I hope that the real Diesel brothers have better standards than me, because that is shameful to put a car out like that. So get those things attached up, and done. All right, last piece to install is the other door, which actually has a good paint on it. At least I think it does. We might put it on there and realize, wait, it's blue here and blue here. You just couldn't tell because it wasn't next to a perfectly bright colored part of the vehicle. Now that one actually looked like it was done decent. All right, now install the door. And I think we'll be done with this mission. No, get a little closer. You just got to find the right spot. And that should be good. Let's see. Finish order. All right, finish the order. I kind of wish you could go to the computer to do it, but you can't. That's one of those funny things. Like, okay, the order's done. Let's go to the computer and turn it in, right? Except the computer's only for accepting orders. To finish the order, you got to go to this menu and hit E. And there you go. You get some stats. We got 5 lightning bolts. Got $12,500. And we got 100 new fans. Those fans, they really like that messed up paint job. And it says, congratulations. You finished the first tutorial order. Now, when you know the basics, you can proceed to the second order. Except, I already know the basics. Why does it say when? It should be like, now you know the basics, right? Who cares? On to the next one. So this is another tutorial one with unlimited time, and it's called Children of the Diesel. When you already know the basics, it's time to get to the real business with a bit more advanced ones. Most important thing to learn here is how to use online shop to buy brand new stuff, how to transfer big parts from and to the storage, and what to do with the ready to sell parts. So confirm. And this one, you got to pay attention to the wording a little bit. So here it says, buy new bed for short cab Art and Sterling and buy new roof rack for short cab Art and Sterling. So you're thinking, okay, we're going to buy things, right? Where are we going to go? Well, we're going to go to the scrapyard, right? Except you would be wrong. We do not go to the scrapyard because the scrapyard is only for scrap parts and the text says new parts. That's a key word right there. So we actually should have never left the garage. So the only reason I went to the scrapyard was to show you a possible mistake you can make. What you're actually supposed to do is you go to the computer, then you go to the parts shop, and then you buy the parts you need. And you can watch the tutorial, or we can just go and buy it. So the first thing we need is a body panel. So you go to bed, and then we got to make sure it's for the correct truck. It's the Arton Sterling, so that's the one we want. And we buy it. This is, do you really wish to buy it? Yes, I do. And then we also need to get the other part, which was the roof rack. So we go over to the roof rack, and you see the words Arton Sterling right here. You think that's it, right? But it says premium and regular. That's wrong, actually. We need the one for the short version of the Arton Sterling. So here's another one, but that's still regular. Over to here, we have a modern and regular. There's a short one, finally. It's for $283, and I believe that's going to be the cheapest one. Yeah, because the prices are only going up. So that's the cheapest one we can get, so we'll go ahead and buy that. And now that we have the parts, we need to go and remove the parts that are already on the truck before we can install the new ones. At least, I think that's the order they tell you to do things in. Yep. You buy the parts, and then remove the parts on the truck. Get off of the ground, you screwdriver. Here we go. First, we'll remove the hatch, or the tailgate. I don't know why it calls it a hatch. I've always called those tailgates, but sure. We're going to use the screwdriver to remove the hatch. This thing has 4 bolts on it. I'm not even going to do the thing where it tells me which bolts, because I know which ones to use. And that should pop it right off. First, we drop the screwdriver, then pop it off. And this we're going to save for later, so we're going to put it down gently. Actually, we can kind of set it up here, can't we? Let's see. It won't let me do it. It says part is overlapping something that can't be put here. Oh, that's too bad. So you just got to throw it on the floor. Just like that. That works. And then we need to remove a few more parts, which don't actually need that. We can just pull them out. So we pull off one of the lights, throw it in the corner with all the other stuff we're going to be piling up. It's actually only 4 parts we're going to be piling up. We got the tailgate, the 2 lights, and then the bumper. And the bumper, I think it's just these 2 bolts. So there goes one, and here goes the other. And I like that the screwdriver actually lines up with the bolt properly. Like, you notice you can't see nothing right here because it's lined up with it. But maybe if we get a different angle, nah, you can't see anything from there. Eventually, I'm sure we'll get an angle that shows that off. But anyways, let's go ahead and remove this bumper and then throw it into the pile. Perfect. And I think those are all the accessories you need to save. Yep, now we just need to unscrew the bed. I wonder if you could do it from up here, because it looks like we can reach every screw. It won't let you do it from up there. I guess you actually got to go on the ground to do it. All right. Oh, look, there. Now you can actually see what I was talking about, how you can see the screwdriver. There's another good example of that. You can see it lines up, and then it pulls out the screw. It's one of those things where they could just hit the screwdriver as it untightens and tightens the bolts, but nah, it's actually there, invisible. So I thought that was pretty cool. Into the pile. I kind of missed the pile. Hey, you. Get in the pile. There we go. There are other ones, too. We can put all of them in the pile if I wanted to. Or the smart thing is to strategically place them in all the places I might need them. And if you're wondering why there are 4 of them, it's because this game can be played in multiplayer with up to 4 people. But that's not for me. That's not for me. I don't do that. Anyways, now if we look at the thing, it says transfer bed to storage in PC. So we go to the PC, then we go to management, and we go to transfer, and we get rid of the tutorial. So we're going to go to the truck, and we're going to remove the bed. And then we're going to put the bed into storage, like so. Then we're going to take the other bed, and we're going to add it to the truck, like so. There you go. And it should have the new bed on it that doesn't have rust, yes. And they don't want that painted. They don't care. They're like, yeah, there's no paint. That's fine. I just want not rusted because the rust looks terrible. So let's go ahead and tighten this thing up, and we're doing it the same way as before, from the side, because you can't do it from the top. And now that I think about it, doing it from the top doesn't make sense, because how would you reach the bolts? They're all under the truck. It's illogical. But when you see the icons, you think, oh, just go up on top. That's the easiest way to reach them, right? Then you're wrong. All right, so that's done. Grab the bumper. We'll do the bumper first because I took the bumper off last. Grab the screwdriver. Every time I call it a screwdriver, it just feels wrong. I'll tighten these 2 on a little closer. There we go. You can't tighten it until it turns orange. So, you know, if you're a little far away like that and it's not changing color, you're just too far away. I get a little closer, and then it's orange, then you go. And then you're done. Next up, the hatch. Stick it on. What happens if you try to close it? Nope, you just take it off. It's the same button. Of course it's going to take it off. Duh. All right. Or if you tighten one and then try to close it. Oh, it actually works. Does that actually work? Is it really acceptable if you only have just 1 bolt attached? We'll have to see what happens because I don't know if that's going to actually work. I'm just going to attach it in one spot. Like, yeah, that's good enough. This is the quality that people go for when they bring their cars to me. I'm not a real diesel brother if you haven't figured out yet. Nope, not at all. All right, so we'll put that in. And then we need to install the roof rack, which is over here. There it is. Looking in the wrong direction. And this thing needs to be installed a lot. There are so many bolts on this thing. There are like 5 times as many bolts on this than the bolts that hold the bed of the truck on. It's ridiculous. Look, every spot right here has 4 bolts. That right there is 4 times more, and then there are a couple of more as well. It's just ridiculous. Here's another good example, though, of being able to see the tool in action. I'm just going to call it the tool from now on. That at least makes sense versus the screwdriver. Screwdrivers are a hand tool. If it just said electric screwdriver, that'd be great. I'm good with that name. Just screwdriver man. I gotta stop talking about that because like half the video is me saying, I ain't really a screwdriver now, is it? I'm still talking about it though. I can't stop. I mean, I'm always using it. Every time I use it, I think about it. But anyways, we got 10 bolts that hold on the roof rack and only 4 to hold on the entire bed of the vehicle. I thought that was funny. I assume it would just be like the bolts here are just much smaller and that's why there's so many. And the ones that hold on the bed are big, chunky ones that you only need 4 because they're so huge. If one of those rusts through or something, you got big problems. Like worse than the bolt because probably other parts have also rusted through. So we click this and it says, still we need to unmount hatch, which means it probably just wants me to mount it. And it doesn't know what to do because it's only half installed. Like the game probably thinks if it's half installed, you want to uninstall it and not finish installing it. So we'll just actually finish installing it. And then it should say that's a success, right? Okay, that's good. So now the only thing we need to do is sell the old bed on the computer. Good thing my guy is good with computers. So we gotta go to the parts shop and then we go to sell and then we pick the standard regular bed that's all rusted and disgusting and we sell it for $128 somehow. Who's buying it? I have no clue. And there we go. Quest complete. It's funny. They call it a quest here instead of a contract or whatever, but okay. And it says, congratulations, you've completed the second tutorial order. There's just one step more before you'll be able to say that you know how to play the game. And apparently we got almost $40,000 from that, and the guy could have bought a new truck for that much. So what is the next order? Let's find out. Another tutorial, like it said, so it says, to-do list, buy lift, open map, add front. It's going to be a lot of steps, basically. Highway to diesel. Body of the truck has no secrets for you, so it's time to get deep into chassis. This time you will buy the lift and replace some parts from underneath the car. When it'll be done, you'll add some crazy hot rod decals from Decal Shop to add the finishing touch. All right, confirm. And this is as far as I've done in the game so far. So everything else is going to be new. But I think this would be a good spot to end this video. If you guys would be interested in seeing more for this game, do leave a comment. Because I should mention, there is a place where you can go and off-road and drag race and stuff, but we can't because I don't think we have a truck yet. Yeah, no vehicle available. So I want to probably at least play the game so we could try that stuff out, no matter what. How much more, though, we do after that is going to be based on the feedback from you guys. So leave your comments so I know how interested you are for those future videos. And until next time, this has been WhyBeAre. And remember, if you like or dislike this video, I will know. I can tell by how much diesel is left in the tank. So do the right thing, and I'll see you next time. Oh, you actually can stand on the roof. I wasn't sure if you could do that. I am the king of this truck. Stomping on it. I am the muscle.